Good afternoon. It's such an honor to be back again, and we're going to keep this awesome day going today at the Glimpse of Africa Festival in downtown Grand Rapids. Today, I get the honor to introduce Phyllis Thinkii and her book, Karimi. It's a powerful story. The reviews are awesome. And today we get an opportunity to hear directly from the author what her inspiration was and what she wants us as readers to take from the book. Phyllis, it's so honored to meet you.
It is an honor to meet you too. Thank you for having me and for doing this great event. I commend all of you. This is incredible. Yay,
Awesome.
go books.
Awesome. Yes, we love books. And so let's get to your story. Where are you from? I know you're currently in Los Angeles. And then from there, I'd love to get to the inspiration of the book.
Yeah, I am originally from Kenya, East Africa. No, I'm not Obama's cousin, maybe distant. And my parents are coffee and tea farmers. And to be able to work on the coffee and tea farm, they took all of us to boarding school. We're 7 of us. So I just loved reading because I was always in boarding school, elementary school, boarding school, high school, and then came to the US. So I've always read to keep myself occupied and comforted because of being far away from home. And so when I went to college in DC, my parents sent me to college in DC. And then when I was in DC, I realized how much I loved, stories and TV and film. So I moved to Los Angeles for an internship. And while I was in Los Angeles, I worked at a company called Disney, you might know it. And I noticed that a lot of the Disney princesses, there wasn't an African princess. I mean, there is the, what is it, the frog one, but she's not really African. And yes, so I was working at Disney when I just got this idea. What if we have an East African princess? Because African girls, we can be princesses too. Everybody can be a princess.
Absolutely.
Yes, and that's why I wrote Karimi. It's about a peasant girl that is torn between finishing a high school education and marrying the rich and powerful prince, that is trying to court her. So because I love education and I love fairy tales.
Yeah, and so what inspired the actual meaning of the book regarding a young lady who is torn between education or marrying into wealth? Is that a personal story yourself?
Okay, so it's a mixture of, because when you're writing, you are supposed to write from your personal experiences or some personal truth. So my sister, who, not to dump in the mood, who passed away 15 years ago, I love her. Her name is Karimi, which means she loves to farm. Mm-hmm. That's the meaning of, in my Meru language, Karimi. And so, and her name is Karimi. So, and our protagonist loves to farm. So I was like, what a better name than Karimi, which would honor both my sister and keep her in my nephew's minds forever by writing this book, but also because my protagonist loves to farm. So I really got the inspiration too, because you don't see a lot of farmer storylines at all, but people eat food, people eat, you go to the grocery store, but you never see people getting behind the scenes of who the farmers are. So I'm a farmer's daughter. I love my parents. I love farming. You all ate something this morning because a farmer put it on the table for you somehow.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's the name was inspired by my sister's name, which means to farm, Karimi, to farm. And my protagonist, I wanted her to be a farmer because I'm a farmer's daughter.
That's awesome. And so, what is it that you want people who read this book to take from the book?
People to realize everybody has a story. So, and if there's anybody out there that thinks I shouldn't write, my story is not interesting enough, but everybody has a story because we've all gone through different things, but also the same. Like the core of everything we've all gone through, especially in the past 2 years almost with Corona and all, there is a universal theme everybody, we collectively, we all go through the same things, but differently. You know what I mean? So everybody should write a story and also realize that you don't know anybody's story, like especially like this girl. You don't know why our protagonist so badly doesn't, you know, maybe wants to wait to finish high school before she marries this rich and powerful
Yeah,
prince. And also, to I want people to realize. So first of all, please, you have a story, write your story. If you want to keep reading, books are so important because they thank you, Sarah, because they transport you to the worlds of other people, and that's how we create empathy in the world, by
absolutely.
reading this,
What
especially with social media. Sorry, go ahead.
what I find positive and such an inspiration in the day of technology, that here a farmer's daughter can bring us back into the roots, no pun intended, of who we are and what makes us the ability to grow is the farm allows us to excuse us
Yes.
quick technology difficulty. But
No worries.
back to what I was saying, your story and the story that you tell in the book really brings us back. And so, as a farmer's daughter, specifically for minorities who grew up in certain parts of America where they don't engage with farmers, can you please just share with us why many of us should look into farming when we look at our careers, and how do we as a society bring that into the peripheral of many young black and minority students?
Now, great question, first of all. Thank you so much. I remember growing up, and especially in high school, like kids would make fun of me because, oh, she's from a farm or she's a farmer's daughter. And it would make me feel bad. And then I realized, wait a minute, no, the orange juice that I was drinking before our phone call came from oranges. I think people need to stop. Any job that anybody has is a great job. It's a great opportunity. Martin Luther King says you can be whatever you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
just be the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really feel like in the past, since I was born, I don't think people appreciate farming enough. But you are waking up every morning and wishing there is some, I don't know, sausages or eggs or spinach. Where do you think that spinach came from?
Yeah.
It came from a farm. It came from somebody putting their hands down in the dirt and watering, planting the seed and watering the plant. And it might come maybe because everybody wants the big job, the office job, or the cool jobs. But what is cooler than the patience, the empathy, just the nobleness of putting a plant in the soil? You touch
Mm-hmm.
it, you water it, you put, you know, mulch in it,
Yeah.
and then see it grow and blossom and feed humanity.
Oh,
I really think everybody should look into that, and it's the only way you can also control what goes into your body. Like I highly encourage everybody. Like in Los Angeles, we have little places that rent. Like little farms or
yeah.
little sheds that you can plant your vegetables, and everybody should look into that. It's a way that teaches you empathy, it teaches you love, because and
Absolutely.
patience too, because you're watching something grow. It's not, oh, I need spinach, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and order Instacart. Like
Yeah.
in this sort of like
Yeah.
fast
We
food.
tend to forget the actual core and foundation of our existence, which
Yes.
is what we feed ourselves, and that what we feed ourselves actually has to be, grown somewhere.
Yes. And like my
So
parents being coffee and tea farmers, and I go to Starbucks. Usually when I tell people, we grow tea and coffee, they're like, coffee bean or Starbucks? You know?
yeah,
Like they can't even tell, like, wait, it's a bean. It's a bean. And
it just
you
doesn't
know,
come from anywhere.
so they're like, so do you grow Starbucks or coffee bean? And it's like, oh gosh, you know. But yeah, we need to embrace
That's
that.
funny.
And I see how even our farm workers are treated, and we need to love on them and thank them so much. staying in the
Yes.
sun all day, harvesting or planting or weeding, and just the whole process too. Like it
Yes.
really does teach you empathy
Absolutely.
and patience. So
Yes, and we're very
and
grateful for our farmers. We're grateful for our migrant farmers wherever they are, because we know the amount of work that it takes to feed us. And so,
yes,
well, Phyllis, it's been an honor. Can you please tell us a little bit where we can find you?
yes, I am on Instagram, Phyllis Thinkii. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. So find me there, chat with me. My book is on Amazon. You can get it hard copy. You can get it Kindle. But most of all, I am gonna send a few free copies to the library to keep. So
Oh, wow.
come over, read them. How
Awesome.
do you how do you describe African coffee? Sorry, should I answer the
Yes,
questions?
please answer the
Oh,
question.
okay. I have to say, especially because Kenya has the advantage of being like on the equator. So our soils and our climate, it gives us this, it's the red soil. So our coffee is not as acidic as other coffees I've heard. So
Hmm.
you get these like robust, healthy, just full-bodied beans that like if you go to Starbucks or Coffee Bean, you and ask for some African coffee, you will notice it different. It's not as acidic because of the way the soils, our soils are so rich because of being like on the equator. Our coffees are like more full bodied and not as acidic as other coffees, is what I would say. Yes,
Awesome. Well,
and teas.
thank you for that. And I think I'm going to go get me some coffee now.
Enjoy a
And
nice
I personally know
kahawa.
you don't grow Starbucks coffee.
Thank you. And in Swahili, we say kahawa. Thank you for having me. You guys keep reading. You get more empathetic the more you read books. And yeah, to the
Yes.
farmers. Thank you, farmers.
Hoorah. Thank you,
Thank you, Kent
Phyllis. We'll be
Library.
in touch.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you.